Hello and welcome to Crochet Moments. This is my October catch-up. Crochet Moments is my channel where I like to talk about all my knitting, my crochet and other crafting that I like to have a little dabble in. I'm Helen, I live in Leicester with Simon, my husband, very long-suffering husband, and my two monsters of children who are currently upstairs, so there's going to be lots of door banging. I'm filming this on the Sunday morning, so I normally film on a Friday and get it up on a Sunday, but I'll get to why I'm filming on a Sunday in a bit, but there are lots of people in the house, so I say lots. The other three people I share my house with are in the house at the moment. So it is sweater weather, so I am wearing one of my hand knit sweaters. This is a Sardar pattern. I cannot remember the number, but I made this out of the Sardar. It would have been wise of me to look up the name of the yarn before I started talking about it. But it is a Sardar yarn. It is a really lovely Aran weight yarn, but it's kind of roving, so some areas thicker than others. Not everybody likes it. I've seen quite a few comments recently on Facebook in the groups that I'm a member of, saying that they're not too keen on it. I like this yarn. It's very nice. So yeah, so October, what have I been up to? Well, family wise, we've done a couple of day trips. So we went to Sherwood Forest for the day. We had a little walk around. The girls love Sherwood Forest. We went there for an afternoon before they had to get home and go for their swimming lesson. We went to Nottingham. So Catherine turned 13 this month in October, and we planned a surprise because Catherine did not know what she wanted to do, so we decided to treat her to afternoon tea at the Kitty Cafe in Nottingham, and she loved it. It was probably one of the best surprises that we've planned for her in her mind. She really had fun. The food wasn't great, but you go there for the experience of being in the cafe with the cats, not the quality of the food, or at least the afternoon tea that we had. We felt that it maybe wasn't worth the money we paid for it. It wasn't hugely expensive, but it wasn't as tasty as we thought it should be. But anyway, it was a lovely experience. The girls got to spend some time with the cats, although the cats were clearly fed up of being fussed with. They just wanted to be left alone, but they were happy to just spend time looking, so that's okay. And now for the reason why I'm filming on the Sunday. So on Friday, November the 3rd, I took part in, you may have seen some of my Instagrams, in a charity sleep out. So hence the humongous bags under my eyes. I did not sleep very well, although my sleep app that's connected to my watch tells me I slept for 5 hours. It did not feel like I slept for 5 hours. So basically the bank that I work at support a number of charities. One of those charities is Centrepoint. It's a charity that helps homeless young people get back on their feet. They help them with their education, they help them with any mental health issues they may have. They get them a support network so that they can try and get over the issues that caused that young person to become homeless in the first place. And so they have teamed up with the Manchester United Foundation to do a fundraising event. Now, this is something that Centrepoint do on a regular basis, and they do have a few set up around the country. But this one particular one was in Manchester, as that's where my bank's head office is situated. And we slept over in the stadium for Manchester United, Old Trafford. We were sleeping pitch side, so we had a view of the pitch all night, which had lights shining on it all night, so I didn't really sleep very well because it just was not dark enough for me to be able to sleep properly. But yes, it was a lovely experience. We did some brilliant activities. We had the opportunity to speak or hear somebody who had experienced homelessness and received help from the particular charities. We got to hear his experiences. We got to look into why this happens. Sometimes a lot of it is down to just the fact that some people don't have that support network in their life. I count myself very lucky that I do, but you know, it can happen to anybody. And so yeah, it was a very valuable experience. I will link the fundraising link in my description box below, just for anybody who feels they want to donate. As a group, there were 10 of us representing the bank, and there were 150 people in total from a range of different companies. And yeah, so we have raised, I think it was the last time I looked, which was yesterday evening, it was about £1,700. Let me just have a look if that has changed. Yep, £1,797. So we are really getting there, really getting close to our target. So this is it. So I will link this page underneath in case anybody would like to donate. We had a bucket in the branch and we managed to raise around £300 from customers' donations in the branch. It was just a lovely experience, even though I'm still tired. I went to bed at 9 p.m. last night after falling asleep in front of the TV with Catherine and Simon, and I slept until 9 this morning, and I'm still really tired, so I'll probably get another early night tonight. So that's what I've been up to. So let's talk about the crafting I've been doing. So I've got quite a few finished objects to show today, which is very surprising. It has been quite a knit heavy month for me, so I have been working on a knit along with the Simply Knitting magazine to make an advent calendar. Oh, I'm almost out of battery on this. I need to get this charged. So it's the Jolly Holidays advent calendar, and I've started November's of this. But yeah, so because I've been trying to keep up to date with it, I haven't had as much time to crochet as I normally would. So just putting it out there. So I'm going to show you, I can't remember which ones, because Emily keeps getting these out. So let me just find out which ones are from last month's. That's to this month's. Come on. Got so many bookmarks on here now. I'm just bookmarking everything that I like, that I want to make, that I in the different magazines. So I have made a Christmas, let's tip this out, let's get them all out. Okay, so I made a Christmas pudding with the little holly on top. I did a teddy bear. Where's the teddy bear? Little teddy bear. I need to work out how I'm doing these ears. I'm not connecting the ears terribly well. This is the funny one. The penguin came out looking a little unusual. I did an elf. Where's Mr. Elfie? There's Mr. Elfie. And I did a snowman. And a stocking. Where's the stocking? There's the stocking. Very simple, basic one. That one took next to no time to make at all. I did a wreath, which was more complicated than it looked because just sewing on all of those little things so that they looked presentable. I did a drum, which looks awful. The drumsticks. I think I might get some wire or something to feed into the drumsticks. And then this is from this month's one. I've done the first one, which is a present. And I'm about halfway through the body of a robin. And that will leave me with a candle, a Christmas cracker, and Mary Joseph and baby Jesus. So this is all living in a lovely little project bag that I bought, so beautiful, by Nicola. And this this is going to be the Advent calendar bag. This is going to hold all of these things in. Hopefully the last few bits that I've got to make will fit in there without them being too squished up, and the girls will take it in turns during December to take something out and hang it on. I'm not necessarily going to stick to the order that, because they do supposed to be up on days. It's the Mary, Joseph and Jesus one will be the last one to go on for Christmas Eve. So that's so they'll be hung by threads onto buttons. So that I loved that. So all of those finished items, lots of finished items. I did ask last month whether I should be including them as individual items as a finished object. Lots of people said I should, but that puts me in a quandary because I want to improve on how many things I finish each year. So if I include all 24 of those items as individual finished objects, that's a lot of crafting to try and get done next year. So I'm thinking about it. I haven't made a full decision whether or not in my list of finished objects for the year I would include them as one whole or lots of individuals. But certainly in showing everybody what I've been up to, they're definitely individual finished objects. I've also finished my out and about socks for Emily. Now these have been worn, so they're a little bit, well, they're not dirty, but they're worn. So there they are. These are just, I don't know what I've done with my Emily sock sized sock blocker that I could put these on. Lots of fluff where she's been walking around the floor in them. But yes, so she loves them. She put them on as soon as they were finished. I've worked on these when we were going to Nottingham, and all I had left to do was the toe decreases. So I just sat one morning and did the toe decreases to get them finished. So that's another pair of socks finished. I have started another out and about project, but it's not socks, so I'll show you that in a moment. Where's my notebook? My other finished objects. Oh yes, so I've got a couple of finished objects that I don't have with me. I finished my blue cross stitch. That was the little blue cross stitch kit that I bought from Hobbycraft. That I don't have with me because I've already gifted it and I forgot to take a photo. So I did mount it on a card, so I just trimmed it down, frayed the edges a little, and then I just stuck it down on a card as they were a Christmas birthday present for a friend. One of my Brownie Leader friends had a baby, so I made a pair of booties, which I have already gifted, but I did remember to take a photograph. when I can find it after going through all the photos from the sleep out. So here they are. So I made these. These are they're just booties. They didn't have a particular name, and they were a free pattern from a blog called Hopeful Honey. Now it says that it's good for beginners, however there were a number of errors in the pattern in regards to counts. It missed one of the decreases out on one of the rows, so I wouldn't necessarily recommend it as a pattern for somebody who is an absolute beginner and wouldn't necessarily understand that there was a mistake in the pattern, because it would lose its shape. It wouldn't have that lovely little rounded boot shape. That said, they were beautiful when they were finished. I made them using some leftover cotton acrylic blend yarn that I'd had left over from my shawl. I don't know if you remember my big cotton shawl. So yes, that used some of that up. Yes, so that's that one. Done that one, out of wax, done that one. Okay, so my last finish objects will lead me into a little bit of my incoming. Now I will talk about the rest of my incoming later. There is a little bit, I've done a little bit of buying, not lots, just a little bit. So this is a case of fellow podcasters enabling me. So I was watching Purling Through Life, Melissa, and she was showing off that she had a Lord of the Rings knitting pattern book, which was lovely. It wasn't something that sort of floated my boat. There wasn't as many patterns in there as she was going through that I thought, oh yes, I could do that. However, she then mentioned that there was a Nightmare Before Christmas book by the same author. So this is by Tanya's Gray. This is the author who put together the Harry Potter books, the Harry Potter knitting books, and there's been a few others that she's put together, and I really liked some of these patterns. I had googled it, I had a look at it. I managed to find a preview on Ravelry of what patterns were in the book, and there were several that I liked, so I thought, well, I'm going to have to buy the book. So I will first show you my finished objects because I'm very proud of them, and then I will show you the patterns from the book that I intend on making at some point or other. Now these are my very first attempts at proper colour work. In knitting anyway. I do colour work in crochet very easily without any kind of problem, like this mosaic colour work. I've done tapestry colour work, I've done colour to colour work, corner to corner colour work. I've done a lot of different types of colour work with my crochet. But look, these baubles. So the reason this is one of the reasons I haven't done as much crochet. I kind of got into a bit of a groove with these, and there are 4 in the set, and I will be making all 4. I just need to take a step back from them, get my advent finished, get a little bit more crochet done, and then I'll get the other 2 done to go on my tree for this year. So this is obviously the curved, that mountain thing that curls around, and this is an Oogie Boogie, which is one of the character, the bad character I think he is in. He's so cute. He's so cute. I love it. One thing I'm disappointed with my colour choice. It does show up quite well on the camera, but up close, because the yarn, I just picked out random minis from my 20-gram mini box. So this one is a Roses Moments 20-gram mini, and as you can see, it's got some darker flecks in it, and some of the darker flecks fell in the wrong place for us to get a really good look at the pattern. And this is a yellow from Dinah's Home of Crafts. I used to get a monthly subscription for 20 gram minis from her, but they were piling up, so I stopped the subscription, and I keep an eye out for things. So this also brings on to another little bit of incoming. So I bought, oh gosh, bits of yarn on my yarn. I bought some yarn. This is from Lidl. Now, if you're not from the UK, you may not know Lidl. It's a discount food shop, grocery shop, and I kept seeing posts about there being this yarn. Now, I did get some other colours, but another colour, but I can't remember where I've put it. But I've been using the dark grey for my dark contrast in these. But yes, I was very, 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 very pleased with my efforts. I used my 2.25 DPNs. The pattern doesn't say 2.25. I think they wanted slightly bigger needles. Yes, 2.5, but this is what they should look like. So I don't think I did too badly. Didn't do too badly. So onto the book. Actually, I'm just going to go and get a quick drink because my mouth is really dry today. Did not want to drink too much water before bed yesterday because I didn't want to be getting up in the cold and rain to go to the loo. So I'll be right back. Right, now onto the book. So as you can see, there are lots of things in here that I want to have a go at making. And there's a lot of colour work in here, as well as some not amigurumi. It's amigurumi when it's crocheted. So there's a Jack Skellington, and there is this version. There's also a Santa version of him. And I have been told by both girls that they want to see the Santa. So I have to make both of those. They both want a, what's he called, a Zero toy, and I have to make 2 of these as well. So an Oogie Boogie. Now it does actually suggest using a UV light reactive yarn, so it glows in the dark. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that one. I'm going to have to do some shopping around, otherwise I will just get a green that will match him. So then we've got, there's this sweater that I want to make. Whether or not it's going to be for Simon or myself, I haven't decided. There's this beautiful wrap, which I think, to me, looks like it's mosaic knitting, which I quite enjoy doing. There's this absolutely beautiful lace shawl that I want to make. Some really cool Jack's mitts. Catherine's put her order in for these. She wants some Sally socks. So I'm not going to be doing these sort of as I get to them. I'm still working through my stash. I'm trying to use my stash as I go, so it might be a while till I get, I love this sweater. It might be a while till I get round to making some of these, but I will. This is beautiful jumper, cropped jumper. I've shown you the things. Now this blanket is done in double knitting, as in not the double knitting weight, it's double knitting. Now I've never done double knitting before. It is something I want to have a go at trying. However, this is blooming big. So I might use the charts and have a go at crocheting the blanket instead. Just doing some intarsia crochet. I might just do all the patterns individually and sew them together. I think that might be the best thing for that. I definitely want to make it, but I'm not sure I want to knit it. And then lastly, they've asked for the stockings as well. So lots of things in here that I want to make. Again, the plan is to make them as I get to them in regards to what yarn I have in my stash that can be used for it, without having to go buy more stash because I really have to stop buying stash. So those are all of my finished objects with a tiny bit of the incoming. Let's put that over there. I've already talked about that. So let me show you my new start. Where's my Oogie Boogie one? Oh, there it is. So they need to be put somewhere safe, ready for the tree going up. So I only actually have 2 whips left to show you. This is going to be a very quick monthly catch-up, isn't it? So, but like I said, I've been focusing on the knitted advent, so that's taken up quite a lot of my time. So this is my new start, and this is living in a bag that I bought from a trader at the 1940s weekend at RAF Cosset. And it's really pretty, lots of poppies, and I thought that's perfect for this time of year. We are entering into the remembrance time of year. I bought some new needles to use on this. Where are they all? So I've got some Addies. These are my Addies 3 points, or where are they? Where does it say on them? Ooh. These are my 3.5s on 40cm cables. Let's put this in. They don't have the sizes printed. I did not realise that. Oh, they're on the cable. That's why. 3.5, it's on the cable. Panic over. But I will put it back in the bag. I don't need it just at the moment. And I also bought some 4mm 40cm. Right, okay, so this is my new start. It is the Flax sweater by Tin Can Knits, and I'm making this size for Emily. There is an intention to make one for Catherine as well, and then one for myself and Simon in Aaron. So Catherine and Emily's will be in DK, mine and Simon's will be in Aaron. Because we're larger, hopefully the Aaron will knit up faster. I just thought I'd have a go at doing a very basic sweater for my on-the-go knitting, just because, well, the socks, that they grow out of the socks very quickly. Catherine's feet are almost as big as mine already, and if she's going to get bigger feet, I'm going to be knitting her fewer pairs of socks. Just when it gets to the knitting of the foot, I just get very bored after a while with the length of the foot. That's why Simon's only had a couple of pairs from me. So here we are, here it is. So I'm loving the yarn. The yarn is the Starcraft yarn. I do not know if you can still get this yarn. I hope you can, because I may need to buy another cake of this. I have 2 cakes. This is the first cake. The other one is upstairs. This is Candy Swirl by Starcraft, and it is strawberry taffy colour. And it's just this lovely sort of variegated, well, it's not variegated, it's a self-striping, isn't it? It's knitting in stripes. And it's really lovely. It's very soft and smooth. It's a 100% premium acrylic, so there's no wool in here, which is perfect for things for Emily, because doesn't need extra special washing, just doesn't need to go on a hot wash so it doesn't get shrunk by Simon. But yeah, so this is this. I'm really enjoying it. I did some knitting on the train on Friday on my way to Sheffield, so I got about that much knit. So I started from the armpit down, so I've got about 2 inches there worth. So I just need to keep going for about 100 rows, and it's just knit, 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 round and round and round. Now I am using the Tin Can Knits app for this, and I'm enjoying it immensely. I love the Tin Can Knits app, just it keeps you track of where you are in the pattern, and you don't have to have bits of paper around with you. So the intention is of stash allowing to work my way through as many of the patterns, the free patterns that are on there, and then I might start looking into the paid for patterns and invest in a few patterns that are already set up for the app and use them that way. That's the intention. Because they do sort of collections, so you can buy a collection which works out cheaper than buying the individual patterns. So I'll have to see when I get to that stage. There's quite a few patterns on there already free. There's about 9 patterns, and some of them are graded for multiple weights of yarn, so it's a fantastic way just to look at your stash and maximize that. So this is my one and only crochet whip that I've been working on. It is living in my Fly Lanka airbag, which I got from Attic Spin Dye. This was back when he was looking into doing some Terry Pratchett Discworld themed yarns. Unfortunately, he was asked to stop. So this is my Flower Power tee. Let me get you a picture up to show you what it's going to look like when it's done. Come on, there it is. It's designed by Fran Morgan, and it is in the Simply Crochet magazine. At the moment I can't find it as an individual download, however you can download the entire magazine from Ravelry. So, and there has been an error in the pattern for this. So I finished the stripes and I have started all of the little granny squares that go on the top. And I've already sewn on the first row on the front. Now, in the pattern, it says to make, for my size, 22 of these. So I sat there making 22 of them thinking, I'm done. Let's start sewing them together. And then I look at the instructions and I'm sewing 2 rows of 11 onto the front and 2 rows of 11 on the back. So actually I should be making 44, not 22. So I have another 22 of these squares to make. I'm not picking out the colours in any particular order. I am just randomly picking them out. So some are very pale and things there, then we've got some that are very bright. Just letting the colours go, do their thing, and I don't care that it's a little bit crazy. I look forward to being able to wear it. We shall see if it's going to fit me. If it doesn't, Catherine's already volunteered to have it. She wants it. Whether or not I want to make one for herself, I don't know. Because sometimes I don't like making the multiple things of the same pattern, which is why I ended up only making 2 of the barley hats. I sat down to start on my barley hat and I was like, I really don't know. Although there is a DK version, so I could double up the yarn that I had picked out and just do it that way. I don't know. But the yarn that I'm using anyway for this is, oh excuse me, this is King Cole Zigzag. I can't remember what the colour is. I think it was all the pinks. And then I just picked a random selection, well, not a random selection, I picked a selection of my minis out of my minis box. All of these are starting to come unravelled in the bag, of colours that can be sort of picked out of this one, or they complemented this one. So the plan is to have it all fairly complementary, which is, I think it's about there complementary wise. I am a little concerned about its length. It doesn't look so short in the pattern. Maybe with a little bit of blocking that might help. I don't tend to block things. I tend to just put them on. This one may need a little bit of blocking, I don't know. But that's pretty much all the crochet that I've done this month, which is a bit, I think I put about 2 rows in Emily's dress that I'm crocheting for her when the current knit along pattern came through. So I might pick that back up when I'm all done on this and it's all ready to go for the 1st of December, and I can get back onto all my other projects. So let's have a look at my other incoming. So I've only got 3 more bits of incoming left to show. Is that right? Yes, that is right. Okay, so Nottingham. Obviously, I wanted something as a souvenir for my crafting, and I needed some knitted needles. I had looked online and found a shop called Knit Nottingham, and that was along the route of one of the walks that we were planning on doing around the city centre. So I said to Simon, I need to go to a shop. He was like, would it be a wool shop by any chance? And I was like, yes. So I didn't buy yarn. I nearly bought yarn, but I didn't buy yarn. I did, however, buy the needles that I went in to get, the Addies 3.5 and 4mm needles, and a new project bag. They had a whole basket full of project bags, and I saw this and I was like, I need that bag. I need it so much. Look how beautiful this bag is. It's so beautiful, and you'd get a shawl or a small sweater in there. And it's by Bertie and Poppet in Nottingham, UK, and it's got this lovely lining inside. I just love it. It's got a box bottom. It's so pretty. Lovely handle, lovely Bertie and Poppet on the top of the zip. I love it. It cost me about £17, which I don't think is too bad for a handmade bag. It's got some sort of wadding inside it as well, so it feels nice and thick, and I love it. It's very seasonal, autumnal sort of theme. There were lots there that I could have bought, but I stuck with just the one. That is because I didn't get to go to Bakewell this year. So I said to Simon, well, I didn't go to Bakewell. And he said, well, it's not wool, is it? So I should have bought some wool. They had some hand-dyed yarn there as well, which was really pretty. So next time I go to Nottingham, I'm going back and I'm going to buy some more. So then all I've got left to show is some attic spin dye purchases. So I had a small bonus this month, well, in October's paycheck. So I treated myself to the Halloween treats box. And this is, I believe, if I'm remembering right, a Beetlejuice themed set of minis. It comes with some stitch markers. Oops. I've already had the pumpkin one out. I think it's in a project, but there is some, there's a witch and some vampire teeth. I love those are really lovely. And then came the yarn. There were some sweets, they've been eaten. So we've got this lovely zebra yarn, which I haven't actually knit with before. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colours, which are already starting to unravel. So we've got this lovely purple, hot pink, ooh, come on, an orange, which will possibly be about to be used as for the pumpkin mini, and this lovely, I might even make the pumpkin ornament out of just those 2 yarns rather than the dark grey, although that would take it out of, and that's very shocking green. I did see it advertised and I was like, I don't know, I ummed and ahed about it, and then when I got that little bit of extra money in my wages, I was like, treat time. So I did treat myself to this. Yes, and I did that while I was ordering the next part of my Winnie the Pooh subscription. So I've had part 1 come through, and that included some pucker tea. Now I like this flavour, the lemon ginger manuka honey. I do like that flavour, but I might have that later. Always comes with a mini. I'm getting a lovely little collection of these little minis. Lavender. A lovely canvas coaster. I'm getting a nice little collection of these. There were quite a few of these in oh, I had that wrong way round, it was that way round. In my Beatrix Potter subscription, which is being rerun. So if you liked all of the colours that I had in my Beatrix Potter collection, definitely go and subscribe. It's just a month, you go on and order monthly. Lovely card into chapter 1, in which we are introduced to Winnie the Pooh and some bees, and the story begin. And then you've got a honey pot. That's so lovely. And the yarn, which is so beautiful. I love this yarn so much, and it is Winnie the Pooh. Look at the yarn. I love that so much. It's so beautiful, so soft. This is, I just need to make something with it. And I say that every time I open it, but sometimes I just like taking them out of my box. I have a box, and I have a couple of totes full of my hand dyed yarns, and sometimes I just like to take them all out and lay them out on the bed and look at them. I have to start using them. That's why I'm trying to focus on using my stash where I can. So sometimes I may even double up the yarn to turn it into DK, so that I can stretch out whatever patterns I can make. I love this so much. And that's it. That's everything. And I managed to do it in less than an hour. So yes, I'm going to probably spend the rest of the day resting, knitting, trying to get as much of these thingies done that I can, these advent characters. I may take a nap. The girls have their swimming lessons this afternoon, so I'm not sure. I don't take my knitting there because Emily has a habit of jumping out the pool and giving me a big hug, and I end up soaking wet. So I don't take my knitting. It's only a 30-minute lesson anyway, and then it'll be cooking dinner and then ironing. It's my turn to do the ironing this week. And then I'll have to get on and do a bit more knitting. the sooner I can get it done, the sooner I can get on with some more crochet projects. However, I do only have 2 or 3 projects on the go at the moment, crochet wise. I need to add something, but I don't know what yet. I've got a number of projects that I like the look of in magazines from my Weedly app. So I might have a look and see if there's something I can add. I don't like having less than 4 projects on my crochet. I don't know why, because it means things will finish sooner. I don't know, but yes, I'm just wittering on now. That's what I do when I'm tired. So I'm going to go now and maybe make a cup of coffee. So I shall see you all again next month. I think I'm filming... When am I filming? I'm down to film for the 1st of December, so assuming nothing goes astray in around those dates, I will be filming, and it will be going up on the 3rd of December, the Sunday. So I shall see you all next month, and I hope you all have a wonderful time crafting. Bye.